I've spoken at length about how a dragonet lives, thrives, and interacts with school or the wider community of dragons. So, what about the old and the wise? How do elder dragons interact with the Empire? Hi, I'm your host Heatwave, and in today's little episode, I'll be exploring the elder dragons in the Empire of Pareena. Hmm. Uh. Mm, uh, did you need help, sir? No, no. Just a moment, please. Um, did you want me to read the menu to you, sir? Uh, I think that would be the best, actually. Welcome back to the Wings of Fire spin-off series, Empire of Pareena. If you haven't done so already, please leave a like, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that I publish. It's an unfortunate reality of living that eventually things get old, and dragons are no different. But it isn't as bad as you might think. A dragon, on average, not accounting things like lifestyle, diet, and winglet, can live for around 120 to 150 years. The later age requires some level of luck, though. That's over a century of experiences, a century of watching the empire grow socially and economically. Now, you would think as a dragon ages, they would become weaker, frail, and delicate, fragile, even. But that's not always the case. These are dragons. They are the apex predator. Mere age won't slow them down too much. As a dragon gets really old, their body is still capable of performing to the expectations. They can still hunt, fly, and outmatch any animal or creature. But they just might be a little bit slower than the more youthful dragons around them. In dragon culture, a elder dragon is a dragon who is at least over the age of 70. And that's all they're given. A title. Being an elder dragon doesn't change much in a dragon's life. They are seen with far more respect, with younger dragons hoping to gauge enough knowledge from these experienced dragons, especially if they are masters in a trade or a skill like metalwork. But other than that, an elder dragon is given the same rights and opportunities as everyone else. They can apply for any job, hold a government position, and interact with any of the social or cultural identities and heritage afforded to them. The Imperial Army does have a cutoff age for enlistment, and that is 80. If an inductee goes over the age of 80, they will take up a more admin based position within the Army, or they may be honorably discharged from the service. Many elder dragons who reach the age of at least 100 choose to resign from many of their duties or places of work to live a more simplistic lifestyle, spending what cycles they have left to relax and catch up on the finer points of being a dragon. Growing old does have its more physically notable downsides, sometimes even painful. As a dragon gets older, their body starts to show signs of deterioration. Their bones may become slightly weaker, they may lose muscle mass, and become forgetful, along with other examples of declining mental cognition. But these are far less common to the average elder dragon. There is a range of more commonly felt ailments for getting old. Elder dragons are notorious for suffering from arthritis. While arthritis can happen to any dragon, the older a dragon is, the more likely they will suffer from it. Inflammation builds up in the joints of a dragon, most commonly in the wings and the limbs. It's caused by simple overuse of these dragon joints, leading to painful and uncomfortable movements. Skywings and mudwings suffer from the chronic illness far more than any other winglet. Skywings because, well, they overuse their giant wings, and due to the weight and bulk of mudwings, it puts a lot of strain on their joints. Another affliction from old age is the elder dragon's ocular nerves start to weaken, causing diminishing eyesight and even blindness. It's commonplace to see elder dragons wear glasses. More so, to prevent a dragon losing their glasses, some elder dragons chain or tie their glasses from their nose to their ears. For those dragons who are completely blind, they may choose to wear a cloth strip over their eyes, or carry a long stick attached to the neck, with a small steel ball at the tip that moves inside a housing. The stick is used to help the blind dragon pathfind around any objects that might be in the environment they are walking in. Finally, due to their age, elder dragons of the winglets that typically breathe out fire start to lose this ability. The older the body gets, the phosphorus sac within the chest starts to leak, which leads to heavy coughing fits and frequent heartburn. But because of the leaks, it also prevents a dragon from spewing up any fire. So, how did dragons deal with getting old historically? Well, not very well. Many of the kingdoms before the Empire of Pareena had a deep fear of getting old, because to them it was a sign of becoming weak and useless. It was common for these elder dragons to be seen as outcasts, but not because they were treated wrongly, but rather they themselves didn't think they had a place in their winglet. To them, they felt too overshadowed by younger, more youthful dragons who could farm better, fight better, and contribute without arguing that their backs hurt all the time. Jumping into the modern empire of Pareena, though, the disposition of course changed, as I said before. The dragons of Pareena see their elder kin as just that, kin. They're still dragons. There is no need to discriminate against them for being old. The elder dragons are venerated for how much they know and how much they have experienced. 150 years is a long time to be alive, a long time to be soaking up all that knowledge of the past. But there are two winglets that do have a differing opinion about this. Ice wings, or at least mountain ice wings, have stuck to the old ways of thinking about elder dragons. They kept the fear of getting old, because, by their perspective, getting old meant having to rely upon others, which mountain ice wings don't like to do. They value their independence to lift the burden on the wider empire. Getting too old would require them to access assistance, or they may become useless in their service, meaning those mountain ice wings who are counted as elders do anything they can to continue their work or independence. Unfortunately, this leads to an early, overworked death. Mudwings are the complete polar opposite. They uphold, venerate, and worship their elders. This disposition can be traced back to even before the migration to the wet spring rainforest. The Mudwing clans were originally governed by the oldest dragons, which were called elders. These elders weren't just the biggest of their kind, but they had survived for a long time and were regarded as very wise as well. With age came a cooler, more level-headed approach, making them great leaders and wise decision makers. Elders were regarded with immense respect, especially how they passed down the history and the basics of mudwing culture to the next generation of mudwings. Even in the modern Pareena era, the mudwings still uphold this value. Their clans are still run by elder mudwings, whose tusks do grow over time as they age. The mudwing disposition towards elderkin has spread to the other dragons and winglets of Pareena. It is led to the common belief that a dragon must, without a doubt, show unwavering respect towards their elder kin. So, in conclusion, an elder dragon is just like any other dragon in the Empire of Pareena, but they deserve a lot more credit and recognition for what they have learnt and what they can teach us younger dragons. So, that concludes another episode of the Wings of Fire spin off series, Empire of Pareena. Thank you very much for listening. I've been your host, Heatwave, signing off.